All right, welcome back, my friends. This is part 3 of our series that we've been doing on how to create your dream life. And today is one of my favorite topics because we get to talk about mindset, because mindset changes everything, everything. And today we're going to dive into and talk about how to overcome the three obstacles to living your dream life in record time. It's the mindset you need to achieve your goals, your dreams, your visions, and what might stop you. Actually, that's the lens of what we're going to look at it through, is what might stop you. And having a little fun with the sailing theme, we're going to talk about the sharks, danger buoys, and anchors that you need to look out for. And if you missed it, go back. Part 1, we talked about making your dreams a reality and 6 proven steps that you can do to achieve your lifelong dreams. These are the steps my husband and I took over a series of years to get to this place where we are able to, we just purchased our dream boat and we will be moving on to it this summer. And there's steps you can start taking today, even if your vision and your dream is 10 years down the road. Listen to that podcast and start implementing the steps we took so that you can live out your dream life too. And part 2, we talked about strengths-based goal setting and the power of that, and making sure that we know which talents might be helping and which ones might be hindering us. And as a bonus, just to wrap it all up today, we're going to finish off with 10 thoughts that I have to help you achieve any goal, dream, or vision that you have for your life. So if you're ready, we're going to finish up the series. So untie those dock lines and jump on board, because we're going for a sail today. All right, as I shared, this is part 3 of our series. And I'm doing this series because I want you to really get in that mindset where you could achieve any big goal, dream, or vision you have for your life. And as I shared in one of the other series, if you don't have a big goal, dream, or vision for your life, I hope it inspires you to just start dreaming a little bigger. You deserve this. You deserve to have the life that, God wants you to have, to think bigger, to dream bigger. And today we're going to jump into what are the 3 things that could be stopping you. And most of these aren't even real. We're talking about danger buoy, sharks, and anchors. And yes, those are real things. But the things that stop us right now, what might be stopping you, is really all up in our head. And we're going to talk how to break through those things so that you can create that dream life that you've been looking for, because we don't want them to stop us. And I'm going to be honest. So we are setting sail our first voyage. We were supposed to do it last week. We are doing it this week to move our boat where it's going to be staying for the summertime in Connecticut. Right now it's in Staten Island, New York. We'll be moving it to Connecticut. It's going to be a 2-day trip on the boat. And yeah, I'm a little nervous. Like, people keep asking me, are you scared? Are you nervous? It's like, absolutely. This is way beyond our skill set of sailing on a lake. Plus, we haven't been sailing in over a year, so I'm feeling a little rusty. But, and I know there's dangers out there, but we're ready for them. We're prepared for them. We've been talking about them. And there's a quote that I love that says, a ship in harbor is safe, but that is not what a ship is built for. And just like us taking this voyage on our sailboat, yeah, it's a little scary. But you know what? I think our boat is going to love it, because she's made for this. She's made to sail. She's made to go out on the ocean. And we just got to learn to work with her and not listen to the naysayers who think we're crazy, and the people that will never leave the dock on their boats, because there's people like that. They buy a boat and it's really a home on water. And for you, you might be playing small because it's safe. But that's not what you're meant for. You are meant to live an extraordinary life, an extraordinary and fulfilling life. And yeah, it's a little scary when you venture out there, but that's what you're designed to do. So I hope you listen to this episode with that in mind, that you are made for bigger things. So let's get brave and leave the dock knowing that there are danger buoys, sharks, and anchors out there, but we're going to be ready for them because we know they're there. And that's the key. You've got to know they're there. We can't ignore them, but we got to be ready for them so that they won't stop us. All right. First thing is the danger buoys. What are the danger buoys that I'm talking about? I'm talking about, when I talk about danger buoys, they're the doubts and the fears that we have about ourselves that creep in, the stories that we tell ourselves about all the reasons why we won't succeed. And when I'm working with my clients, I always tell them we have two voices in our head. And the first one over here is the possibility voice. It's the one that like, yes, you can do that. Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. You know, I believe in you. And all these things that we know we're capable of. Then there's this second voice that chimes in, and it's the voice of like, you know, you failed at this before. Who are you to think you could do this? You don't know enough about X, Y, and Z. Nobody's going to buy from you. You should just stay put where you are. And it's all these voices that we have in our own head about ourselves and all the reasons why we can't succeed. Those are the danger buoys. That's the biggest thing we need to watch out for. We don't want to get stuck. You know, if you're out sailing on a boat and you go into where the danger buoy zones are, they're usually marking off a shallow area. And you don't want to go into that area because you'll get stuck. And that can happen with us in real life. If we go into the danger buoy area, we'll get stuck in our own mindset. And here's how you can overcome that. One, learn how to use your talent themes so that you can get around the danger buoys. So for example, when I start having these mindsets about like, I don't know enough, or I'm lazy, or whatever it is, usually I pull from my strategic and my futuristic themes to help create a strategy to move me towards that vision I want for my life. I could also use my focus theme and create this plan that I know if I dedicate an hour 3 times a week towards whatever it is I'm working for, that will help me create and achieve the goal. So what talent themes can you use to break through those danger buoys and just be realistic about it? Make a strategic plan. Second thing we can do is, what can you learn that will give you the knowledge that then gives you the confidence and the competence to break through that thought that you're having? And if you haven't listened to it, please go back and listen to, it was season 4, episode 17, Sailing into Success with Vicky, and I always butcher her last name, Lewinberg. And she talked about the steps she took to gain the knowledge to take her journey as she's traveling the globe on a sailboat. So go back and listen to that one. It's exactly what I mean right here. The third thing you can do to overcome the danger buoy is, what books, podcasts, coaches do you need to read, listen to, or hire to help you break through the mindset and the personal beliefs that are keeping you stuck? There are zillions of books out there on mindset. Some classic ones, some newer ones. There are podcasts to listen to. Hooray, you're already listening to one right now. There are coaches that we can help you break through that mindset. So what do you need to do for your next step to really work on your own mind and break through and get around those danger buoys? Because they're there. They're not going away. We just need to be aware of them and avoid them as much as possible. Okay. The next thing we need to watch out for are the sharks. There are sharks in the water. Cue the Jaws theme right now. Right? The sharks that I'm talking about aren't swimming in the water. They may be living with you. You might be sleeping with one. The sharks are the naysayers. They're the people in our lives who just don't understand our dream and our vision. And they may be people who love us, and we may love them, but they just don't understand it. And if we're not careful, we can let them talk us out of our dream and our vision. So how do we not let the sharks stop us? Because again, they may not be going away. And we don't want them to go away. So here's a couple of things you can do to avoid the sharks. Number one is let them know why you're passionate about this goal and a dream and a vision. Maybe they just don't understand it because you haven't told them enough. So let them know, have a great conversation with them, just an open communication conversation with them, sharing all the reasons why this is important to you. And a lot of times that's it. That's all they need. They may still question it. They may not understand it, but they'll be more supportive because they know it's important to you. The other thing is, you can just, if that doesn't help, it could be that you can just avoid talking to them about your dream, that maybe they're just never going to be invested in it like you are. And sometimes, the sharks are telling us things that, we're crazy for stepping away from this secure job. Or what about your degree that you spent 4 years, 6 years, 10 years getting and all this, student loans, and now you're not going to use that degree? Or they're the ones that are telling you all the reasons why this idea isn't valid. And even though you share why you're passionate about it, they just may not get it. And sometimes the best thing to do with the sharks, especially if there are people that we love and live with and work with perhaps, that just don't talk about your dream and vision with them because they may never get it. I remember hearing about a woman once that I knew when I was very active in direct sales, and her husband was not supportive, and she wanted to earn her first career car. And it's about a 4-month time frame that you're working really hard for that goal. And she just didn't talk about it with him anymore. He didn't believe in her. And every time she had the conversation, it made her feel bad or that she wasn't going to achieve it. So she just quit talking about it at home. And you know what she did? She went out there and earned it. So that one day she drove into their driveway with her brand new free career car. So he had no choice but to believe in her at that moment because she proved it to him. So maybe you just need to shut up and get to work and prove it to them. The second thing we can do with the sharks around us is find other people who do believe in our dream. Because again, sometimes we can't change the mind of the sharks. But can we go swim with another school of fish? Can we go find those other people who are going to believe in our dream? Go find the other people who are doing what we want to do so we can surround ourselves and put ourselves in the right environment. So the sharks can swim over here, but we're going to go over here and work on our dream. So who are the people that are the dream holders for you, like we talked about in one of the other sessions? And can hold on to that dream and believe in you for you. Sometimes, just sometimes, and this is kind of like the story I shared with the woman earning the car, sometimes it's using that shark as the fuel to light a fire to go achieve the goal. So sometimes instead of trying to push back on the shark and argue with the shark and convince the shark, again, we just need to go out there and use that. Like, I'm going to show you. I'm going to go do this. So again, kind of just shut up and go get to work. So, so use it as the fuel to get going. All right. So we talked about the danger buoys, the thoughts we have in our own head about ourselves, the sharks, what everybody else, the other people out there telling you all the reasons why this is going to fail, the naysayers. And then we have the anchors. And anchors, when you use an anchor on a boat, it's usually to keep you stuck in one place so that your boat doesn't drift off someplace or it doesn't go anywhere. You use it when you want to stay put. And anchors are sometimes for us that keep us stuck in real life are the thoughts and beliefs that we have in our head about life in general, or, whatever it is we're needed to work through. And we have this thought that's been with us. Maybe we learned it from our parents. Maybe we learned it from school. Maybe we just learned it from life. But it's these thoughts that just don't serve us very well anymore. Maybe they've never served you well, but they're old thoughts that we hold on to. And we don't even know why we even think this way. They're keeping us stuck. It could be thoughts about what success looks like. That you have to have a traditional job to be successful. that you have to go to a 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, 40-hour-a-week job, that's what life looks like. Or maybe it's a thought that, well, we don't even really need to enjoy our careers. Like we're just meant to, go to high school, go to college, get a job, get a career. And then, after we retire, then we enjoy our lives. That thought doesn't serve anybody well. Or maybe it's the thought that, well, I need to have benefits and insurance and the security that an employer provides for me, so I can't step out on my own. Maybe it's just the thought that, I don't know, that your family, we hear that a lot. Well, my family, we're not entrepreneurs. We're teachers. My family, everybody's a lawyer. In my family, it's blah, blah, blah. You get the point? And I do this exercise in my Discovering Your Calling group when we talk about these things. And I have them take a sheet of paper, or just, I give the example with a sheet of paper. We take the sheet of paper and fold it in half, and you get this very defined crease. So if you can imagine this sheet of paper, maybe you want to grab one right now and fold it in half and just really rub the crease so it's deep. And as you keep rubbing it, that's the thought that we've grown up with, generational sometimes, and we keep having these thoughts and they just don't serve us anymore. And what we need to do is flip the paper and create a new crease, create a new thought that's going to serve you better towards achieving your dream life. So, like the thought that you have to have an employer to have insurance, how do you think all these people that own a business get their insurance? You can buy your own health insurance. Did you know that? A lot of people do. Everything you think, there's probably somebody else out there doing it differently. So we just need to flip the paper, flip the thought to a new thought. So what new thought do you need to start thinking? I always feel like that sounds like a Dr. Seuss rhyme, but what new thought do you need to start thinking that's going to move you toward your goal, toward your dream life? Create a new crease. How do you do that? Again, it's by being aware of the thoughts that are keeping you stuck, the anchors. And then it's starting to, same as kind of with the other ones, what books do you need to start reading to change your thinking on things? What podcasts do you need to start listening to? If nobody in your family's been an entrepreneur, then listen to entrepreneurial podcast. Start hanging with people who are doing it, even if it's virtual, even if they don't even know you're hanging with them because you're just listening to their podcast. Maybe it's joining a Facebook community. But what books, podcasts, communities can support your new vision? And if you need book recommendations, I am a book junkie. You can see if you're watching the video in my background, like I am constantly, probably every week, I'm buying new books. And most of them are professional or personal self-development. So I've read a lot of books. So I am happy to give you book recommendations. Just shoot me an email at sherry@sherrymiterco.com. SherryMiterco.com. So Sherry, one R, one I, at sherrymiterco.com. And also happy to recommend some books for you. The other thing too is, what groups of people do you need to surround yourself with who think differently than you've been thinking in the past? Because we've been ingrained for the past 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years on these thoughts. We need to unplug from that thought and go plug into a new group. So again, that can be a Facebook community. Maybe it's joining a chamber. Maybe it's joining a local group. Just hang with people who think differently than you've been thinking. And that's how we break through the anchors. That's how we pull up that anchor that's getting you stuck so you can sail off to your dream life. So as we wrap this up, I hope that as you're listening to me, you're thinking about what are the danger buoys, the sharks, the anchors in your life. and identify them, but then create a plan of action to break through them, to get away from them, to avoid them so that they don't keep you stuck. And I'm going to finish our whole series. We're going to wrap it up here with 10 thoughts to help you achieve any goal, any dream, any vision you have for your life. Steps to help you keep going, even when you want to quit, even when there are sharks and danger buoys in the water. So, number 1, know the why behind your goal. There is a reason Simon Sinek wrote a book all about your why. That's his whole platform now. Knowing your why is so important. I'm not going to spend time talking about that today. That's for a whole nother podcast, but you got to know the why behind your goal. Why do you want this? The why is so important. The why keeps you going when it gets hard. The why keeps you going when you want to quit. So know why you want this. Go down deep. I do an exercise with my clients called peeling back the onion layers. And I keep asking them, and it almost annoyingly, why does that matter? And then they tell me why. And then it's, well, why does that matter? And then they tell me that. And then it's, why does that matter? And we go so deep until they start crying. That's the point. That's why it's called the onion layers. And that's the point, it's deep enough that that's going to move you to fulfill this dream, because the why matters so deeply to you, it brings you to tears. Number 2, the reward of achieving your goal needs to be greater than the risk. There's always risks involved. And what's the risk that you have versus the reward you will gain by achieving your goal, your dream, your vision? And sometimes the risk is staying the same place that you've been at for years if you don't make a change. So the reward of achieving your goal needs to be greater than the risk. Number 3, create simple habits. You don't have to do this overnight. In fact, none of these dreams and visions and goals, the big ones, don't happen overnight. But you can do it step by step by step. So keep it simple. Small steps equal big results when done over time. It's just like working out. And sometimes I hear, well, I'm so tired all the time. I don't have the energy to do this. Can you devote 15 minutes 3 times a week towards achieving your goal, towards achieving your dream life? Just set a timer. Say, for 10 minutes, I'm going to work on this. For 15 minutes, I'm going to work on this. Maybe you have 30 minutes. You can work on it. So little chunks of time. It doesn't have to be huge, but you have to do something daily or weekly to achieve something different. So create simple habits. Number 4, work with your natural flow of energy. This goes along with number 3. If you're a morning person, maybe you can get up a little bit earlier when you're fresh and alert and energized about it. If you're an evening person, maybe it's staying up a little bit later to work on your project and your dream, your vision, your goal. If you're higher in the, if you have more energy in the afternoon, maybe works a little bit in the afternoon as soon as you get home from work, or maybe don't even come home from work right away. Go to a coffee shop, sit in your car. You will have to sacrifice today to have what you want tomorrow. You cannot have success without sacrifice, but you can have success without sacrificing the ones you love. But you've got to figure out, where are you going to put in the time and the effort that matches your natural flow of energy? For me, I'm a morning person. I get my best work done in the morning. Okay, number 5, enlist in support. Who do you need to ask to step up and help you out so that you can achieve this bigger goal, dream life that you want? There are adjustments that you will need to make right now. So enlist in support. Ask for what you need. Women, especially, I'm talking to you right now. Ask for what you need. Ask your husband to cook dinner one night, even if it is eggs. Ask your kids to pick up their own toys so that you have more time and energy. Ask for what you need. People are not mind readers, so you need to enlist in support and ask for what you need. Don't assume people know what you need. Number 6, iron sharpens iron. It's a biblical principle. Surround yourself. I've talked about that a lot today. Surround yourself with others who will remind you of your purpose and not let you off the hook. People who are already doing what you want to do. Join our Discovering Your Calling Facebook community. Inside there, you'll meet other people who have a big dream and vision for creating their dream life. So surround yourself with the right people. Number 7, commit to one step you can do within the next 24 hours. What's that one thing you need to do within 24 hours? Again, it doesn't have to be huge. It just needs to be something. And then, you know what? The next day, what's the one step you can do within the next 24 hours? 2 days later, what's the one step? And just keep doing this over and over again. And one day you're going to wake up and like, how did I get here? How did this happen? But it's one step at a time, one step at a time, one step at a time. Number 8, go back to your Clifton strengths. They will never lead you astray. I call these your compass rose for your journey. They're always there to lead you, to get you back on track when you get lost. Number 9, be ready. Be ready for the danger buoys, sharks, and anchors. They are there. They're not going away. So we can't necessarily avoid them, but we can be ready for them. The number 10, pray about it. Trust God and the process. He has the plan, but he expects you to show up and do the work. So you are called, my friend. I'm going to summarize this all right now. You are called, my friend, for this. You are called for such a time as this. And in Romans 12:6-8, it says, in his grace, God has given us different gifts for doing certain things well. So if God has given you the ability to prophesy, speak out with as much faith as God has given you. If your gift is serving others, serve them well. If you are a teacher, teach well. If your gift is to encourage others, be encouraging. If it is giving, give generously. If God has given you leadership ability, take the responsibility seriously. And if you have a gift of showing kindness to others, do it gladly. Let your light shine bright. We need people to step into their calling. We need people to step into their dream life. We need people to be goal getters. And that's what I hope this whole 3-part series sparks that in you, that you can do this. So dream bigger. You're not meant to be ordinary. You're meant to be extraordinary. Take these steps, re-listen to these podcasts, implement some action steps, and go make your dream life a reality for you, even if it does take 5 years, 7 years, 10 years down the road. And I want to give you a personal invitation to join me in the Discovering Your Calling community Facebook. It's been a little quiet lately, but it's about to spark up again. Share your dreams with me, with the community in there. We'll celebrate your wins, and we will be your community that will support you on this journey. All right, my friends, thanks for listening to this series. I hope it does spark something in you, and I can't wait to see what happens when you achieve your biggest dream life.